Hello and welcome back to the channel. This is my reaction to the fight night Machado Garry versus Carlos Prates. I'm a little bit tired. I hope you'll excuse this, but I had a long day, so I'm just gonna get this over with quickly, rather quickly. We start out with the first fight of the night. I predicted Jocelyn Edwards to be tougher than Chelsea Chandler. I actually did not see the fight. I missed it. So yeah, she got it done by TKO actually. Where's my? There we are. She got it done by TKO in the first round. As I said, I didn't watch it, so must have been impressive. Congratulations to Jocelyn Edwards. We move on. In the featherweight division. It's featherweight, right? Or did I mislabel that? Maybe. No, it's featherweight. Yeah. In the first round, we had a lot of body kicks and knees from Romero, but all in all, more cleaner strikes I thought were landed by Timothy Kwamba. It was very close in the first, and I was leaning towards Kwamba. In the second, Timothy Kwamba just lands a couple of vicious shots, like very, very different, a variety of shots. Finished off with a double knee that lands flush. And I thought Roberto Romero was still defending himself, but the referee jumped in, and I thought it was an early stoppage. But Timothy Kwamba did everything perfect tonight. It's not his fault that the referee jumped in early. So congratulations to Timothy Kwamba on a great win, but sadly for Romero, I think it was a premature stoppage. We move on. Women's strawweight division. We had Jacqueline Amorim versus Poliana Viana. I expected Amorim to win. In the last fight, I expected Roberto Romero to win, by the way, but I was wrong. In this one, I expected Amorim to win. She dominated the first from the top position as soon as it hit the ground. Multiple submission attempts by Amorim. Poliana Viana seemed really kind of helpless on the ground. The second starts with another takedown, and this time Poliana Viana gives her back, and Amorim's just all over it. And yeah, with good back control, she finishes the fight by RNC in the second round. Great performance by Jacqueline Amorim. I predicted her to win by submission, so I had a lot of correct predictions, not always the correct method, but yeah, a lot of winners predicted correctly. We move on. Bantamweight division. We had Malcolm Wellmaker versus Cameron Simon. What did I predict? I predicted a tough fight for both, and I predicted Wellmaker to win. I thought that Simon would have more to offer for him on the feet, but yeah, the fight, as long as it lasted, was very fun, very entertaining. But Malcolm Wellmaker just pressured him from bell to bell and was swinging big until he landed something, and then just ended it from there. Nothing more to say about that. Great performance by Malcolm Wellmaker. Lives up to the hype and then some. We move on. We stay in the bantamweight division. Damon Blackshear versus Alatang Haile. Yeah, Damon Blackshear showed that he's more versatile than he seemed before. actually, I watched the fight only out of the corner of my eye, so but whenever I was watching, Blackshear was landing something and controlling the distance. I think Alatangahalli had some good moments in the second, but nothing too spectacular. I had, like, as I said, from the corner of my eye, I had him winning all 3 rounds. And it was surprisingly all stand-up. The submission guy just went all stand-up and dominated with Muay Thai. It was another wrinkle in... I don't know how to say the saying correctly, so I'm going to stop it right now. Yeah. But another weapon in his arsenal. We move on. Featherweight division. We had Chris Gutierrez versus John Castaneda. Yeah. I predicted the fight before. I had Blackshear winning by submission. So, method incorrect, winner correct. In this one, I had Chris Gutierrez by decision, I think. Yeah, by decision. But the fight turned out to be very different from what I expected. Gutierrez, at the beginning of the fight, seemed to be in control of standing up. But then they spend a minute. But oh my god, what a weird sentence. But then he spent a minute on his back after slipping from a head kick, I think. He got back up to his feet, and then he scored a knockdown on John Castaneda, which to me sealed him the round. Otherwise, it would have been very close because of the long control time. The second round was much closer, I thought. Castaneda had the bigger shots, but Chris Gutierrez has so much, just the amount of strikes he is able to throw in a round is just good. It's just good. It's just too much for many fighters. Tonight he looked kind of gassy, so maybe not tonight, but usually he does. In the second round, I had him winning just pure volume because just he threw more strikes, he landed more. As I said, more damage was done by Castaneda, but still, the amount of strikes that Chris Gutierrez was able to land was just overwhelming. Third round, all of a sudden, John Castaneda shows more confidence in his stand-up, and he's very successful with it. He turns this into a takedown and controls the fight from there. Chris Gutierrez looked really gassed, which I was really surprised by. Yeah, so I had Chris Gutierrez winning by 2 rounds. I gave the third to Castaneda. One judge gave the second round to Castaneda as well, but yeah, Chris Gutierrez got it done, and he got the decision win. So we move on. Lightweight division. We had Evan Elder versus Gage Young, I think is how he's pronounced correctly. He was last minute replacement for... No, let's not talk about him. It was last minute replacement, so I did not include him in my prediction, but I was predicting Evan Elder to win the other fight, and yeah, that's what I'm counting. And he was dominant tonight. Let me go through it round by round. It was just, the first was back and forth stand-up with just more shots landing for Elder. His leg creativity is really, my god, the word was wrong, incorrect. His leg creativity is really impressive. It's really fun to watch. And I gave him the first. In the second, I thought it was a little bit closer, but still, Evan Elder was hitting him with harder shots, and he was hitting him frequently. In the third, the pace slowed a little bit until they both kind of sprinted until the end of the fight. was fun. The end of the fight was very, very fun. I had Elder again winning the last round just by volume and power. Yeah, and the judges saw the same. They gave him the unanimous decision victory, and we move on to the flyweight division. We had in the featured bout, we had Matt Schnell versus Jimmy Flick. I was expecting Matt Schnell to get caught at some point in this fight, and he did not, which was impressive because Jimmy Flick tried a lot and a lot of different things, but Matt Schnell, after getting dominated in the first, he took it to him. Yeah. And the first, it started on the feet, of course, and Matt Schnell looked good, but Jimmy Flick got the takedown and dominated the first. In the second, it looked like more of the same with Jimmy Flick getting the takedown, but at some point, Matt Schnell reversed the position and he did damage to Jimmy Flick. That was the difference to me. He did so much damage in the second round that Jimmy Flick his gas tank never really recovered from that. The third was fun. A lot of back and forth, a lot of scrambles, a lot of submission attempts for either guy. Matt Schnell was always from the bottom threatening with triangles, but he turned one into an omoplata, which was fun, and Flick scrambled out of it. It was really, really techie fight, fun to watch. But again, in the third, I had more damage done by Matt Schnell, and I gave him the third, and he got the unanimous decision deservedly. We move on. Main card, we had in the middleweight division, we had Ikram Aliskerov versus Andre Muniz. I predicted Ikram Aliskerov to win by TKO. I thought it was going to be rather early, and it was. Aliskerov never had any respect for Andre Muniz's stand-up, and he just walked him down. Andre Muniz threw, I think, one or maybe two. I remember one combination he threw with some heat on it. He missed, but that's all he did in as long as the fight lasted, and Aliskerov was just walking him down until he hit him, and when he hit him, he knocked him down and he finished him. Ruthlessly, I might add. We move on. Welterweight division, we had Randy Brown versus Nicolas Dalby. I predicted Randy Brown to win this. I predicted Randy Brown to get a decision though, because I did not expect him to have that kind of performance against Nicolas Dalby, who has usually a granite chin and the ability to recover from big damage. Also hasn't been submitted yet. So yeah, I was rather confident that it would go to a decision if Randy Brown was to win this fight. Yeah, but I was wrong. It was an explosive start with I think it was the nastiest right hook straight to the nose I've ever seen. He just moved his nose like a whole centimeter to the side. It was not a pleasant watch, I wouldn't say. And with that, Randy Brown dominates most of the first round, but he gets set down late in the first round as well by Nicolas Dalby, who hit him with with the right hand. Yeah, it was a 1-2 probably combination. He threw a lot of flurries. And yeah, and he knocked him down with one late. But I still gave the first round to Randy Brown. The second was just pure chaos and violence. I mean, that was as long as it lasted, that was a really fun round to watch. Randy Brown hurts Dalby bad, but Dalby just, yeah, He went out on his shield, kinda. I had shades of Zombie versus Holloway. I had flashbacks. I have to admit. I thought exactly of that when Zombie knew he had nothing left, but he wanted to just, it's not going to be a decision. Either I land here or I'm going down. I don't care. And that was what Nicholas Dalby did. Yeah. Entertaining. And great performance by Randy Brown. We move on. Middleweight division. Oh, not bad. Middleweight division. We had Michel Pereira versus Abus Magomedov. My worst pick of the night, I would say. I had Michel Pereira catching Abus Magomedov at some point and getting a TKO. He did not. In the first, Magomedov started very, very strong and hurt Pereira numerous times. I thought he was going to finish the fight, but she kind of let him off the hook and also gassed himself out a little bit, I thought, in the first. But he dominantly won the first round, for sure. In the second round, I thought this is a puzzling non-performance by Michel Pereira. I don't understand what's holding him back because he just went 5 rounds. And it didn't look like his gas tank was amazing, but he hung in there, and I think it was a good finish later, no? I think he could finish later. Let me check. Yeah, he got finished in the 5th in his main event slot. In the 5th. Come on. He should have gassed for 3 rounds, no? I thought he did, but someone didn't believe in his own ability anymore. It was a really weird performance. Maybe he had a really bad cut or something like that. Maybe he was sick. I don't know. He didn't look like the Michel Pereira that is a fan favorite, I think. Abus did more pressure in the second round and did not hurt him as bad as in the first, but yeah, hit him with a couple of big shots and won the second round handily. The third, Magomedov is just dead tired in my eyes, but just